Hey, kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming live from Sun City in Arizona. Hope you're all having a super fantastic, sparkling, shake it up Saturday. My day again. I love Saturdays. They never turn out how I plan. Well, most of the time they never turn out how I plan. Like I'll have a plan in mind on what I want to get done that day, and most of the time, like today, nothing went according to plan. Well, except for the meeting that I had scheduled. What the heck was I have no clue. Except for the meeting I had scheduled at 10 o'clock, nothing else went according to plan. It was awesome. It was totally awesome. I had stuff worked out that I wanted to do today, and I kind of had a loosey-goosey schedule. Why am I having problems saying schedule today? I had a loosey-goosey schedule for it today, and none of it has gone according to plan, which is awesome. So we got up this morning, did our normal morning thing, went for our walk about 30 minutes later than we normally do. It was already 89 degrees outside. I was like, and came back, and we hopped in the car because we had to move the car today anyway because the neighbors were home. So we needed to leave their carport free. And I thought, let's go get breakfast. And I was trying to figure out what I wanted for breakfast. We ended up Panera Bread, so I get their little egg souffle things and a chocolate croissant. If you haven't had their chocolate croissants, they're awesome. And then I didn't get a drink from them, but on the way home, I passed a Dutch Boys, and I'd never done Dutch Boys before, but I'd looked it up because I kept seeing this big blue Dutch Boy thing. What the heck is Dutch Boys? And so I had looked it up on the internet. One day I'll go in there and I'll try something with chocolate in it. And it's kind of a Starbucks thing. They've got two drive-throughs, so two entrances to two different drive-throughs. So the drive-throughs go down each side of the building. They have a walk-up window. They do your coffees and your teas and your blends and your icy drinks and your frosties and coffee, hot chocolate, cold chocolate, blended chocolate. And I ended up with a double, and this one had dark chocolate in it, a double chocolate mocha, I think is what it was called. And it was blended. So I either could have had it hot on the rocks or blended. So I chose the blended. And they said, "Do you want whipped cream?" I looked at them and went, yeah. I told the guy it was my first time at a Dutch Brothers, and he was like, "Okay." He says, "We'll get you taken care of." I said, "I want the chocolate." I said, "I want the chocolatiest." That somehow came out really weird. One drink that you have. And that's when he told me, and he thinks about it, and he goes, "Do you want coffee in it or not?" And I go, "Yeah, let's do a mocha blend. That'll be fine." And so he told me about this one. I says, "Does it have dark chocolate in it?" He goes, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Then I'll have that one." And he could hear Zeph in the back seat like whining, like she. And I said, "We'll get you something too." And he goes, "Would you like a puppuccino for the pup?" And I went, "Oh, absolutely." And I'd never gotten her one before, so I figured this will be interesting. And so we drive up to the window. They gave us our drinks, and they made a puppuccino in front of us, with the cream inside the cup. And then they take the tongs out and put a dog treat on top of the thing of cream inside there, a little doggy biscuit about yeah big. And so it's sort of like, oh, cool. So we just went straight home at that point, and we did not park we parked back in our normal spot because I didn't. Even though they said they were going to be home late, I figured if they just end up coming in early, then I don't want to have to go out there and move the car, so I'll just put it out here today. And came inside, and I took the treat out, which was now covered in cream, and gave it to Zeffie. That didn't last long. That literally got inhaled. And then I sat there and held her cup, and it was big enough at the top end that she was able to get her whole snout in there to get to the cream that was right on the bottom of the cup. And, that was only about this long, about as long as her snout was the length of the cup. And she enjoyed it. And she comes out and she's got cream, but unfortunately it was all in places she could reach with her tongue. So that soon quickly got. She comes out and she had cream on the end of her nose. She had it on her muzzle, and that tongue comes out, cleans it all off, and then she's like back in the cup again looking for an egg. She had licked that thing clean, so she really enjoyed her very first puppuccino. And I totally forgot to get it on video or anything like that. So sorry, I'm just going to take my word for it. And then I got on and I was working on a project for a friend of mine for her son who just graduated high school. And was in the process of doing that when I looked at the clock. Oh, I got to get on Zoom because I have a 10 o'clock meeting. So I got on Zoom, and I had done other work stuff, business stuff along the way as well. So we had enough time that I got a chunk of business stuff done, which I did have planned, which was okay. And then I'm working on a surprise for a friend's son for his graduation. And then I had ended up having what was going to be like a 1 hour call, ended up being like 2 hours with a friend of mine who I do some work for. And so we went through all the work stuff that I'm responsible for her, talked about other things that didn't get done. She likes some, and she says, "Oh, show me this art stuff that you're doing." So I showed her my art stuff, and she actually ended up picking out 3 designs, and we created one for her right there and then in front of her. So four designs that we used on cards for her, and 2 of them are already in the process of being the order's been placed on those, and the 3rd card's going to have 2 of the art pieces on it, and that one's going out later this month. So I'm going to get all that set up. And but yeah, so we went through the stuff that I've been doing for her, and we talked about what's coming up and what needs to be done. So you were back on the same page. And so after we finished the call, I had lunch, and then I thought, I'm just going to knock out these cards that she wants sent. She'd given me a list of cards that she wants me to send, so got them all knocked out, all ready to set, all ordered except for the one that is for next month, because we've got a card for next month already made. So it was a really productive afternoon. Nothing that I had planned to get done got done, which is fine. And then I thought, I'll go take a nap. I walk into the bedroom. This dog is spread out. She's like laying across the bed. There's no room for me and she's only a 37-pound dog, and she is not that tall. Her head comes to by my knee, and she's laid out there taking up half of the bed. And I'm like, where am I supposed to sleep? And she just puts her head up, looks at me, and puts her head back down. And I thought, fine. And so I thought, I'm going to go work on a couple of puzzles. And so I did that. And I thought, I have to finish the graduation thingy. So I went back and finished that. So it's been an awesome day. We've just had fun. And then the wind started picking up a lot stronger than what Alexa was telling me when I asked what the wind speed was outside. And so I found 9 things. Repeating events. WhatsApp. On June 2022. Alexa, quiet. The joys of having one of those tools around. And so I pulled up the weather program to see what the wind was up to, and noticed it was going to rain in like 30 minutes. And so I'm sort of like, okay, so I got to get my live done early. And then I started remembering, I left windows open in the car, so I had to go out to the car. And of course, I have the big outdoor sun shield thing on it, which means to get into the driver's seat, I actually have to undo the driver's side of this thing. And but I got in there, got the windows closed, and all of that stuff, and put it all back into place, and came back inside. And so I thought, I better get this done, because the rain's supposed to be hitting us in about, if it is going to hit us at all, although it looked like a pretty bad rainstorm coming in because there was some yellow and red pieces in there, then it's going to be coming through in the next few minutes. So I wanted to get on and get this done, because I didn't know how long it was supposed to last. But we're going to get rain. If we're getting rain, I'm like, I'm outside. And when I went to step outside to go and close the windows in the car, and I'm always, whenever the wind's blowing, I'm always cautious of when I go to open the door. Is the wind coming directly on us, which means I'm going to have to put pressure on the door to do it? Or is it coming from the side where it's going to get taken out of my hand? So firm grip on the door, and just as well I did, because the wind is coming. Was that thunder, Zeph? The wind was coming from the rear of the RV and along the side, and it clipped the door as I'm opening it, and I'm fighting to hold it in place as I'm stepping out. And so I quickly turned around and closed the door, and I almost forgot about what Zeffie did today. She did something she's never done before, and twice. And went and closed the windows, and then of course getting back in, I had to hold on to the door again because it was trying to rip it out of my hands and all that sort of stuff. But what Zeffie did today that she has never done before is that when we got back, I took the Panera Bread souffle thing that we'd gotten for breakfast, and I had it sitting here on the table, And I thought, oh, let me quickly go change into my shorts because it was starting to get hot in here, and I couldn't change my top because I was going to be on Zoom. And then I thought, well, after I've done the Zoom, I'll go put my tank top on. Well, the tank top never got put on today. But I did go, I got hair. Sorry. Hair on my face. This is getting rid of hair off your face. And so I quickly went into the bedroom to get changed and stopped at the bathroom, washed my hands, came back out here. Zeffy is up here on the seat licking she had just started to lick the top of the souffle. And I looked at her and said, what are you doing? And she quickly jumped down and, oh no, she just turned and looked at me and says, get off. And so she gets off and I turned around and I says, no, we do not jump up on the seat and we do not eat mummy's food. This is the first, I have left food on the table, I don't know how many times. And I come out and she's sitting on the floor by the table over there waiting for me to sit so she could jump up next to me. Obviously, she thought me going and changing my shorts and stopping in the bathroom to wash my hands was too long of a wait. I don't know what came over her, but she jumped up in the seat and tried to eat my breakfast. And so we had a little talk about this. And and then this afternoon, what did I have to do? I had to go in the bedroom to get something. And there's nothing on the table, right? So, and I come back out and she's up on the bench seat again, sniffing the top of the table. And she turns and she looks at me and she quickly jumps down and goes and jumps up on the dashboard like I wasn't doing anything. So now I have to watch her when I leave food anywhere because, she's been with me over 3 years, no, over 2 years. So 2.5 years she's been with me. And she has never jumped up on the bench seat when I've left food on it, when I've had to go off and do something really quick. And she'd always be sitting on the floor waiting for me. And then the second I sit down, then she jumps up next to me. Never has she gone after food that she has not been given. Never. And today was the first time that she did it. And I thought, man, she must be starting to feel really comfortable with me now. And, there's been times that she's still a little standoffish, and I just keep loving on her and breaking through that barrier. But yeah, today was interesting. It was very interesting. And I said, tell mommy you're sorry. So you got to give mommy a kiss, say you're sorry. And she gave me a kiss. And I said, are you sorry? And she puts her head down. So she knew what the word meant. So I was like, that's pretty cool. But yes, that was our little adventure with Miss Zeffy today. But yeah, so she got her puppuccino with a little dog treat in it. She actually got a couple of treats today because we're out, and one of the security guards, he drives around and he has these little chew sticks for her. Whenever she gets the chew stick, she can chomp on it for a little bit, but after he goes, I go and grab the chew stick out of her mouth and I put it in my pocket. And then she's like on this walk of high energy, wanting to play, trying to get into my pocket, and sort of like, come on, Mom, let's get back, because she knows she gets it as soon as she gets back to the house. And so of course she didn't get it because we went into the car instead of coming inside. And so I gave her the chew stick in the back and she just left it on the seat there. So when we got inside here, she had that, and then she had her puppuccino, and yeah, she's had a very treat-filled day. But anyway, so our day got shaken up. Nothing went as planned. I mean, the things that I had that I would like to do this weekend didn't get done. So it was like, oh, that's okay. It's fine. It's perfectly fine. But I do want to get my my book journal set up. So that was one of the things I had on my list today, was to get the book journal set up on the iPad. And I found out it was an iPad Air 2 that came out in 2014, and they discontinued it in 2014. It came out, 2014 was when it was about the time we got it, and it was discontinued like 2019 or something. So and then I was pricing out new ones, and the one that I was like, oh, that would be a good replacement for it, and priced it all out and everything. But it didn't matter what color I chose, what configurations I chose. None of them are going to be available to July. They would be delivered between July 12th and July 20th. And I'm like, okay, they're brand new, the brand new iPad Airs. So obviously they are not out yet, and the release date is coming up, but it will not be delivered until between July 12th and July 20th. Or I could go pick it up in store on July 20th. And I'm like, yeah, no, It will be delivered, but I haven't placed the order for it. I've only just priced it out, and now we're taking that step back and deciding if that's an investment we want to make right now or not. So that's on the maybe list. It's not on the required list. It's on the maybe list because I still have a lot of space left on that iPad Air, and it's still running pretty well. Although last night it was running really, really hot for some reason. It was almost too hot to touch across the back in one area, and I thought that's interesting. So not sure why, but yeah. So that's one thing I have to figure out. But this thing we got in 2014, so that's what, 8 years old, and which means my laptop we got the year before that. So my laptop's 9 years old. So I got that in 2013, and that's still running okay. The battery's not lasting as long as it should. But it doesn't really go anywhere with me these days. So we'll figure it out. So I'll just make do with everything that I have right now. Yeah. Maybe when I go do a big trip, I might upgrade. So I've got the latest portable stuff with me for when I'm traveling. But we're still working on that too. Anyway, that's it from us for today. What have you done today to shake up your day? Has your day gone according to plan, or did things just get thrown out the window and you were like, screw this, let's go have some fun today? I'm waiting for the rain to start so I can go outside and dance in the rain. Although, judging by the wind, it's going to be a very windy, wet dance. But that's okay. Yeah, it's still blowing. I'm ducking down so I can see we've got a house across the road where I can't see the trees, but so I have to duck down to see at the top of the windscreen where the trees are and if they're moving. So yes, the trees are still moving, and quite wildly. So yeah, we've still got a lot of wind out there. So we'll see if it just blows the rain past us or if we'll actually get some. But anyway, I'm out of here. Go have a super fantastic, sparkling rest of your evening. And tomorrow is Serenity Sunday. That's the day where we just sit back, kick up, put our feet up and go, ah. And that'll be definitely that's the plan for tomorrow. Sit back, kick our feet, put our feet up and go, ah. Anyway, have a super fantastic, sparkling evening, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow for Serenity Sunday. Hey, konera.